All right, I got Dale here with Hot Shot Releases. So you guys make not only releases of both target and hunting style, but also some peeps and kisser buttons. Why don't you just give me a real quick rundown of what you guys have to offer?
I sure will. Like I said, my name's Dale Schofield with Hot Shot here at ATA 2019. No matter what your shooting style, we have a release that will fit you, whether you want a trigger style with a buckle or a long, short trigger travel, post, strap. We have that release for you. If you want a quick hook to hook on the string, the impetus, like I said, both of these are available in a strap or a post. The posts are fully adjustable for length of travel for your finger. It's a positive tooth-to-tooth grip that will not let go on the inside of there. So no matter how much you fidget on the firing line or in your tree stand all day long, you're not going to be changing that length of your finger to your wrist or the strap. Move on over here to our most popular thumb style release. This is the Vapor, and this is actually my favorite. It's a 3-finger lever style release, perfectly silent for hunting purposes. You can leave this thing hanging on your D-loop to where you don't have that heat sink in your hand. Perfectly silent. The hunters love this. I actually shoot, and I love shooting paper with this thing. That's available in a 3 or a 4-finger version. Fully adjustable for fit in your hand. We can change the length that it fits into your hand, the angle of the barrel, the height of the barrel. There's just a lot of adjustment built into this, and the beauty of this thing is in its price point.
What is that price point for that release?
That price point, the retailer can put this into a shooter's hand for about $104. Now, if you're currently shooting a trigger style release with a strap and would like to move up to that thumb style release for more accuracy, you're going to find out that there is a price difference, and typically your target releases are a lot more expensive. You might not want to drop that chunk of change for the first time if you're thinking about dabbling in it. This is a great way to get started. And I can also offer now, as of 2019 at this show, our new release. This is the Haze. The Haze is a buckle style release based on the same time-proven head of the Vapor, only it's on the buckle. I have a buddy that has a lot of arthritis in his fingers. 50 shots, and he's just about done on the range for pain. If we could take that pressure of the bowstring and translate it to his wrist instead of to his fingertips, instead of being able to last 50 shots, he can continue to shoot. If adjusted properly, you're pulling back the bow string with your wrist. Your fingers can quietly rest across the top of the wrist and still operate as a thumb style release. Then we move on up to our target style releases. Time proven, this is the Tempest. It's available in 3 and 4-finger versions. And then we move from there to the X-spot releases. Now you'll notice one of the big differences we have here. We have aluminum and we have brass. A lot of our target shooters love the heavy release, and that's where the brass knuckles comes into play. This is the X-spot brass knuckles. It's a heavy release, and it tends to calm or quiet that human oscillation. A body at rest tends to stay at rest. With the heavy release, you can do that. Now, if you consider a release a lever, any point beyond that lever or that fulcrum introduces a potential for torque. Because of that, a lot of guys are liking the 2-finger release, because the fingers with the potential for the most error for your shot are beyond the farthest from the fulcrum. Now we have 2-finger in aluminum and a 2-finger in brass based on that X-spot. Next in line in our lineup is the Ecstasy, available in 3 and 4-finger, and these are also a sear style target release. So you do have the click that you don't have with the Vapor. That's not going to matter if you're shooting paper, and when you get the sear, we add in a lot more adjustability, tension, travel, but this also has the same fit adjustments, as did the Vapor that I showed you earlier, for barrel, shape, or angle, depth into the hand, and then you add into that the tension and the travel adjustments that you're able to make. Now, new to this show, we also have 3 different barrel height options to add to any of our thumb releases. And if you are not fond of the larger barrel, we have the smaller barrel, and you can see it's quite a bit smaller. Or even instead of a barrel, if you're more interested in putting a ball on, we have that. All of our releases ship with all of the tools that you will need to adjust that release. In this case, it's a back tension release, which we have over here in 3 or 4 finger brass or aluminum models for the hinge, the guys that like to shoot that. In this case, it comes with the Allen wrench that you need to put on the thumb rest and additional bands. Same with this, your packaging comes with anything that you're going to need, including the strap that you'll need to adjust it. The 3 or 4 finger versions that we have, there's a smooth. These can be shot with or without a click and can be set as hot or as cold as you want them. Obviously, here at the show, we set them pretty cold so nobody's busting themselves in the chops.
Right.
A lot of guys are afraid of trying a back tension release. I encourage those people to come past here. It's incredibly easy to learn. And when we move to the 3 or the 4 finger design, we also have large and small hand options. All of our releases, when they come packaged like this, I mentioned that they come with all the tools that you'll need to make any adjustments or changes to the release, but also they come packaged with all of the instructions that you'll need to make any adjustments that you might need to the release, whether that be for travel or tension. If you ever lose this paper, all of these PDF files are available on our website for referral. Move on over here to our peeps. Your typical peep, you have a cylinder bore. When you look through that cylinder bore, you see walls of the peep. Any misalignment at all, you see even more wall. The AccuPeep is a patented peep made of anodized aluminum. It's not going to crush, it's not going to go bad in your string. 100% no string cut guarantee. The side facing your eye has a small aperture. With the small aperture, you gain accuracy potential. The open end toward the target is more open. It's a conical cut, so you have the same light gathering potential of a larger aperture peep. So, in theory, you should be able to drop an aperture size by going to our AccuPeep. These are anodized aluminum and available in several colors, as you can see here on our display.
Does that also reduce glare?
When you don't see wall, there's nothing to glare on.
Right, that makes sense.
A lot better light gathering potential, and I personally shoot up to and past dusk in my backyard with the 1/8 inch peep, so that's definitely proven. I love it. My favorite release, if somebody's to ask, is the 3 finger Vapor, and that is also our most popular release.
Would that be kind of, if a guy is, say, looking to get into a thumb style release, is that the one that you would immediately point him towards?
That is a great starting point. I like to get them to put it, especially if you have a range, I like them to take that in there and try the 3 finger Vapor first. If they're really liking it, then they might try the sear. That's a great starting point.
Do you think that most archers are going to notice a difference between the higher end target sear style releases and the
guys that are accomplished target guys are definitely going to notice, but when you start with this, is as spongy and as much travel as you see here, incredibly crisp on a line, on your firing line or the bowstring. It will surprise you when it goes off. You're not going to notice that travel. So
Gotcha.
Definitely a great starting
and that
point.
even that release has some amount of adjustability in it.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. That is adjustable right there on top, just as these are in the one plane. These have tension and travel. This here, you can adjust it down so light that it's almost go off pulling back a bowstring.
Right.
So, you have any other questions?
The kisser buttons.
The kisser buttons. Sorry, I almost forgot those. These are our Kiss of Death kisser buttons. It's a nice, soft, silicone rubber kisser button. My initial take on these when we first got them is that they would be too large. They are a larger diameter, probably almost a dime size. I thought that'd be too large. I'm not going to go back. I need that as another frame of reference when I'm shooting, and I love these. Plus they're soft. You don't have to worry about getting that whisker pulled out at 360 feet per second. So that's another plus that guys have keyed in on in the last couple of days.
So just to kind of summarize, most guys are probably going to like the vapor, but there's also the opportunities for either the sear style target releases. Also you got the hinge releases, which again are probably going to be more target focused, and then you have the trigger style for guys that still like those, and kind of the hybrid.
Right. We can adjust these to where they'll go off with or without the click by flipping the half moon in them, and you can set them as cold or as hot as you want.
Gotcha. Awesome. And where can people find these releases? At their local pro shop, or else can they find them online?
We also, Hot Shot Manufacturing, Hot Shot Archery also has a web store, and you can check us out there.
And customer service, is there any kind of warranties on these releases?
Customer service is actually one thing that's going to set our releases apart from other releases, especially of similar price point. Customer service is one thing we pride ourselves on, and that is what's going to sell our releases to most people. If you've ever had a problem with the release, a lot of these companies are big enough that you may get a recording that might direct you to somebody that knows maybe what the release is. In the case of Hot Shot, you're going to call, you're going to talk to somebody who's actually assembling the releases, knows about the releases, and able to answer your questions and fix your problems. All of our releases are a lifetime warranty release. We encourage you, if you have any problems with them, to send it back to us. We're going to go through it. We're going to change any items that are worn. If the springs need replaced, we're going to replace that, and we're going to send it back to you on our dime. So that's where our releases are going. That's lifetime warranty on all of that. Customer service.
Awesome. Yeah, like you said, at that price point, that's pretty rare to have that kind of service.
It is. And I personally at the ATA this week have our customer service person, the person that you're going to call and you're going to talk to, on my phone. She's answering any questions that I have all week.
Awesome. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.